Namo Aditapha. Thanks so much for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This wonderful sound calls us back to our true home. The second mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I will practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I'm determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth. For our Dharma lessons, we've been reading More Than Mindfulness, Widening the Field of Practice by the Monastics of the Thai Forest Sangha. Today we're continuing in a talk by Ajahn Sona called Focused Attention, Panoramic Awareness. How are you supposed to do this? People like this message. They love to hear this kind of thing, but they don't know how to transform themselves. These are the exercises for transformation. The Buddha says, here are some guidelines, some how-to exercises. Let's start with the body. Become aware of your body. One thing that you can become aware of is the breath itself, the fact of respiration. Can you let the past and future go long enough to pay attention to the fact that you are breathing? It's a strange request. It's not something that anybody else will tell you. If you go and study music, they're not going to ask you to pay attention to your breath. They're going to ask you to pay attention to the violin bow or something like that. The world is not interested in the fact that you breathe. Your breathing is a strange thing to become interested in. But there's a very deep connection between your emotional states and the breath. A lot of your structures of anxiety and fear and sorrow are very intimately connected with the experience of the breath. The Buddha is bringing you into the zone. Later, he'll ask you to pay attention in other ways. Are you sad or are you not sad? Are you angry or not? But he's going to bring you in with the breath. Then later, he's going to bring you into the awareness of the mindfulness of the mind. He's going to make you an aware person, a person who's no longer walking around unconscious, a person who's no longer driven, pushed, and pulled by unconscious sorts of inherited, scattered trainings. There are all kinds of patchwork habits. There are often bits of information you picked up along the way that are quite often bad habits. He's going to say, well, we've got to start again. We've got to retrain you right from scratch, out with the unskillful and in with the skillful. He's going to take you back and start you at something as simple as, let's just breathe. I want you to do nothing else. I want you to pay attention to this. Eventually, we'll move along to, how do you feel while you breathe? I don't want you to wander away from the breath, but how do you feel when you breathe? How are you feeling? Now I want you to find out if you can induce a sense of well-being, gladness, and ease while you breathe. I don't want just noting of random emotions while you breathe. I want you to discover that the positive emotions of joy, ease, gladness, well-being, and loving kindness are not random happenings. They don't come from the external environment. They are products of your own mind, and you can learn to create them. You can become more skillful with your emotions. You can generate the emotions you wish to have. You can also let go of the ones that you do not wish to have. This is taking control of your own emotional structure. It's not the way ordinary human beings talk. They're always looking for happiness or love or something like that. They're hoping to get lucky. They're just out there hoping to get lucky, hoping that love will somehow fall on them, that joy will somehow fall on them. The Buddha says, stop that. That's a very, very poor way of negotiating this domain. I want you to stay home and learn how to do this. It comes out of you. It doesn't come to you. It comes from you. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. Namo Adira Phat. Thanks for joining me tonight.